The first Shazam was an enjoyable family comedy movie that combined fun and heart and stood out amongst other DCEU movies because it was a standalone that didn't tie into the wider universe beyond a quick Superman cameo. The success of the movie would obviously spawn a sequel that would be released 4 years later.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give off.
However, Fury of the Gods shows that lightning does not always strike twice. The movie starts 2 years after the first movie when the daughters of the Titan Atlas break into a museum and steal the wizard's broken staff. The two take it to the wizard, revealed to be alive but imprisoned, and force him to repair the staff. With their powers restored, the sisters plan to steal the seed to the Tree of Life and restore their world. But to do so, they have to steal the powers of the gods from Shazam and the Shazamili. The movie started off strong, as the Shazamili struggle to be superheroes and are gradually doing their own thing over the years, which makes Billy upset because he's about to age out of the foster system and fears his foster parents will kick him out. The strongest aspect of this movie is anything involving the family. The parents are attentive to their children, to the point that they notice certain quirks when observing their adult alter egos on the news without realizing who they really are. The eldest sister Mary has aged out of the foster system, but remains at home, doing what she can to help around the house. Fury of the Gods holds onto the concept of a found family and the love that the Shazamili share for each other, though you don't get a lot of screen time with the siblings. The focus of the movie is more on Billy, Freddie, and Mary, far more than the other siblings. Half the jokes in this movie fall flat, but the jokes that stick the landing had me laughing. However, to no one's surprise, Fury of the Gods is not a good movie. Beyond depicting the strong messaging of family, there's not a lot of positive things to say about this movie. This movie goes from mid to bad to downright terrible. The only people in the theater were me and 2 of my friends, which shows there was little interest in this movie, and it was a good thing the theater was empty because we spent half the movie memeing it just to get some enjoyment out of it. The movie is filled with problems, starting with a messy plot that doesn't amount to anything because the movie ends as it started. The villains get dumber as the movie goes on, not to mention the youngest daughter of Atlas, Anthea, was a good person compared to her sisters because reasons.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Also, why is it that the 2 eldest sisters are clearly older, but Anthea is far younger and can pass for a teenager?
That is irrelevant.
Is it?
Also, Anthea is over 6,000 years old, yet she falls in love with Freddie, who is a 17-year-old. The heroes and villains' powers are dumbed down. The Shazamili have the power of the gods, yet most of the time they only fly around or use their super strength. Where's the super speed and shooting lightning bolts out of their hands? The villains have the power of the elements and to invade people's minds, but they don't even use these powers during the final fight. And Anthea literally has the power to move the world around her at will, but she only uses this power 3 times, and not during the final conflict. Do you realize how powerful it is to reshape the world around you?
Stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules.
The visual effects in this movie are terrible, and I mean terrible. Like this movie was made in the early 2000s. It was sitting on a shelf until someone decided to dust it off. I expected better from a $100 million movie. Zachary Levi as Billy Batson and Digman Holson, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, as the wizard were the best parts of this movie. Seriously, the wizard was great. The joke about him talking about the unicorn had me on the floor. But the rest of the cast don't shine because of a mix of bad writing and little screen time they have. And then there's the ending, which I am convinced was reshot, like most superhero movies these days. Basically, Billy sacrifices himself to save the world, but then Wonder Woman shows up out of nowhere at the end, uses the staff to resurrect Billy, and then the Shazamili gets their powers back. Where the hell was Wonder Woman, the last god on Earth, this whole time? Oh, and I guess Shazam has now joined the Justice Society, which I doubt will happen, because James Gunn is rewriting DCEU, and apparently there was an end credit scene, but I didn't bother sticking around to the end, which is saying something because I've stuck around to the end credits since Iron Man, even for bad superhero movies. That's how bad this movie is. But hey, I get to see John Wick next week. That should be a great palate cleanser.
Yeah! Woo!
Please comment below, as I'd like to hear your own thoughts about Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And if you liked what you saw, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. My name is Deviant, and thanks for watching.